I like you, then I'll invite you over to slide through. And we can smoke some marijuana. Get you fucked up, ease your problems. I'll be your soulmate, I'll be your old flame. I got a new one. So what? It's okay. You've been looking for a nigga. It's okay. I make everything.
What is up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Maximilian Must Know. Today we're going to be looking at a house that was destined for me to cover at some point. And that is sort of the wacky and offbeat house that is Etat Libre d'Orange. And the fragrance we're talking about today from the house is called Divin'Enfant. And the reason that I really looked into this house was because I love niche fragrances that could be had for under $100. Like 50 mLs of L'Artisan Parfumé, 50 mLs of Penhaligon's, deals on Montal, on FragranceNet, 30 mLs of Atelier and Smell Bent and Imaginary Authors, 4,160 Tuesdays, and Etat Libre. And there's others I know that I'm leaving out, but when you can pay what you pay for a safe designer fragrance for something which the perfumer had such an intimate relationship with, I really like that, and I feel that's a great way to add niche to your collection without having to break the bank and go looking at the Amouages and the Xerjoffs and the Roja Doves of the world. But what finally pushed me to pick up one of these was that I was at New London Pharmacy a couple weeks ago. I smelled a bunch of Etat scents. I was impressed. They didn't have everything in the line, so I didn't want to get my bottle just in, but I sort of made a mental note to do some research, go back and grab one of these. Now, they have a few that are $80, and then they have a few that are a little bit more expensive, around $110, $130. I wanted to get a 50 ml at $80 fragrance, so I made a list of 3 or 4 that sounded interesting and headed down to New London Pharmacy, and I decided on this one. But before we talk about the fragrance, let's of course talk about the house. Etat Libre d'Orange is a French house that was started in 2006 by a gentleman named Etienne de Swart. Their motto is La Parfume et Mort Vive le Parfum, and that translates to perfume is dead, long live perfume. And what I think this house is best known for is very daring fragrances, daring names, names like Don't Get Me Wrong Baby, I Don't Swallow, the fragrance Secretions Magnifique, which is supposed to smell like body fluids, like semen and blood and sweat, fragrance called Delicious Closet Queen, Fat Electrician, just really offbeat names and concepts which I enjoy. I like that sort of playful and sexual nature of houses like Etat and Hildy Solani. I don't think there's anything wrong with the cheeky side of perfume. I think it's great to have houses out there like this. Etienne de Swart was born in South Africa. He moved to Paris, where he worked with Givenchy on fragrances, did a couple of fragrances for pets, actually, called Oh My Dog and Oh My Cats. And his vision in creating Eldo was to start a house that broke away from the demands of very traditional perfume making, and one that could celebrate sexuality, both with their aromas, their titles, and their images. And from what I sort of understand, de Swart sort of serves as the editor of Etat the same way that Frederic Malle does with his house and Christopher Chang does with Amouage, sort of guiding the creative process and working very closely with perfumers to fulfill their visions. Etat has drafted a Declaration of Independence with 6 articles that outline the house's creative approach, commitment to high-quality materials, simplicity in packaging, and subversiveness of concept. Now, as of today, they have 32 fragrances in their catalog dating back to 2006. I believe the latest is called Fin du Monde, which is a fragrance that is supposed to smell like the end of the world. They've worked with a number of well-known and respected perfumers, and there was recently an article on Base Notes that came out that said basically that they're going to change a lot of the way that they do business. They're going to change the look of the bottles as well as the sizes, and I guess they're going to open up to the Middle Eastern marketplace as well. So we'll see how that all changes Etat over the next couple of years. But the fragrance we're talking about here today is called Divin'Enfant, and it is an eau de parfum. As far as your presentation goes, box, Divin'Enfant, Etat Libre d'Orange, sticker, badge code, barcode, ingredients, nothing bananas about the box. Bottle is also very simple. You have the sticker, Divin'Enfant, Etat Libre d'Orange. You have a sticker on the bottom as well. Cap is pretty light, not too heavy. And the atomizer works okay. It's not a great atomizer, not a bad atomizer. It'll get the job done, as we say. So very simple presentation on Divin'Enfant by Etat Libre d'Orange. Now, this cost $80 for 50 ml. It was released in 2006 by Perfume Antoine Lay. He has a very established resume. He's done Wonderwood for Comme des Garçons, Armani Code, Paul Smith London, Black for Pure Distance, a bunch of other scents also for Etat Libre. He's well established in both the niche and designer perfume world. The notes on this fragrance are orange blossom, marshmallow, rose, mocha, leather, amber, musk, and tobacco. And the premise behind this fragrance is a child can either charm or annoy us with the same ruthfulness. A child can be irresistible with the angel's sweet smile, but also knows how to drive us crazy. Under the angel, the faked innocence of a demon. Okay, so the juxtaposition of this fragrance is the playfulness of the orange blossom and marshmallow with the sort of harshness of the tobacco, the leather, and the amber. Very interesting two sides, and how this plays out when I got my nose on it is it's been very disappointing. I had such a different view of how this would be. I thought literal tobacco and marshmallow, and to me it's way more concept than reality. It's very hard for me to believe that this is an eau de parfum concentration. I do believe it, obviously, but it's really light on my skin, barely perceptible after about 30 minutes to 45 minutes. I don't interpret the marshmallow and orange blossom. Instead, it's just a bizarre opening of baby powder, and that's sort of all I get is baby powder. It's very confusing to me. That's all my nose picks up. As it dries down, I start to get a little bit of the mocha and the tobacco and the amber, but again, it's not there. It's just, someone described it, I let someone else smell, and they sort of said to me, it just smells like a sweet tart. And I sort of see what they're saying. It's really, for me, one of the biggest niche letdowns. Actually, I'll say it's the biggest niche letdown I've come across, because I do think if it had a little bit more power and oomph to it, I think it would be a decent scent. I don't mind the baby powder mixed with the coffee and tobacco. I think that it sort of works. It's bizarre, but it should be, right? It's an Etat Libre scent. It's not Lacoste or a Creed scent. But another problem with it is that, well, there is some evolution from baby powder to tobacco and coffee. It's so subtle. You've sort of got to bury your face wherever you sprayed it to smell it. And why that's just not cool to me is because I'd rather go to Smell Bent or Lush or Imaginary Authors if I wanted something different, because those fragrances have some real pop to them. I could talk more about what you might get out of this, but I don't want to waste your time or mine. This fragrance just does not work for me. I'm going to keep it and continue to wear it because it's a niche fragrance. I think I owe it some time before I really decide that, yeah, this one isn't for me. But so far, it has not lived up to my standards for what is an eau de parfum from a high-quality niche house. And I want to just be clear and say this isn't an indictment of Etat Libre. You know, clearly they have a name for themselves. Lots of fans in Fragcom. This will not dissuade me from purchasing another Etat Libre scent, but I will test thoroughly before buying. I didn't trust my nose here. You know, I kind of just thought, well, I don't get it. You know, in the store I didn't really get it, but I said, you know, marshmallow and tobacco, like I gotta give this one some time. But there are some houses at this price point where I feel very safe blind buying. And this just isn't one, you know. This sounded so interesting and different. Now, here's what I will say again also. If this sounds up your alley, test it out, you know, because there are plenty of people out there who don't like this scent, but there's also plenty of people out there who have liked this scent on Fragrantica and base notes, and I've never seen anyone take a shot at the performance of this fragrance, so that just could be about my skin. But it doesn't work for me. It's a 3 out of 10 for me. I feel bad about that. You know, I have a lot of respect for Etat Libre d'Orange, but this one is just no dice with me. You know, and again, I really should have tested this guy more thoroughly before purchasing it. But them's the breaks. Anyway, I hope you have enjoyed this episode of Maximilian Must Know. We of course will be back next week with sample shopping episode and another review. Please check out the companion blog, maximilianmustknow.blogspot.com, and I will talk to you guys again real soon. I'm Maximilian.
Yo, hop in the boxster, popular speedster, mobster, nickname hasta la vista. California cut khakis be all creased up, or New York cut jeans with 3-inch cuffs, flashing, pimping.